go straight to your questions for Coach. What did you think of the tunnel walk?
Good question. Tunnel walk was incredible for me, just experiencing that again. It's been a long time. It was so loud we couldn't hear any of the music or anything, but you could just feel the energy. So that was the best part of the night.
Scott, you guys have the rug pulled out from Monday after the opener kickoff, hoping to go back out and play after all the build-up, preparing for the opener. Is there a degree of difficulty to having to do it all over again for this one?
No, we're just disappointed. It's been a lot of hard work. We got all dressed up for nothing. The guys are ready to play. I think more than anything, I was proud of how they reacted to it. They handled the delay like pros. They wanted to play. A couple guys were yelling out, "Let's just play in the Hawks," which would have been epic, but probably not safe. And then, we started getting the weeds of whether or not playing Sunday would be possible, and we certainly wanted to make it happen. Our players wanted to play. We didn't have anywhere to put them on Saturday night, so I talked to them about if we're going to do this, we need to get home and get to bed in your own beds, which isn't what you do night before a game. I was proud of how they reacted to that and the fact that they wanted to play so bad. The challenge is you don't get the benefit of your first game going into the second one. Most coaches will say you improve the most between game one and game two. We don't get the benefit of that, so we're going to have to make up for it in practice. We had our best, one of the best Mondays I've ever seen a team have today, so we're on the right track. And this coaching staff's been through this. We're snake bit. I think this is our third year in a row we've had a game canceled, so we're used to dealing with this, and we'll do our best to get the guys ready.
Coach, if the roles were reversed, would you have kept your team in a road place when you play the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I wish we could have played. At the end of the day, they declined to play on Sunday. If I was in Coach Bowden's shoes, I'm not sure if I would have. One of the downsides, if there is one, of having so many fans here interested is there's no hotels in town that could service either team. We were scrambling and trying to find a place for him to stay. Kind of found a place, but it certainly wouldn't have been ideal for his team to not know where they're eating, not know where they're staying, not know where everybody is. I wish they would have agreed to play on Sunday so we could have got the game in, but if I was in his shoes, I'm not sure I'd have made any different decision.
Coach, what was kind of the timeline of contingency? When did you guys start to possibly think about a Sunday game, and when did you guys decide?
I didn't start getting involved in it till 8:30, 8:45, somewhere in there. It was well after 8 o'clock. I was dealing with the team and trying to make sure the team was doing things the right way. I was still in game mode, trying to make sure we had, in my mind, had all the play calls that we needed to run ready. Once it started to look more and more suspect that we weren't going to get the game in, we got everybody together and started working on worst-case scenarios. But, something that's happened to our staff a few times. It hasn't happened here since 1943, I think they said, because of travel restrictions during World War II. So you can be prepared for things or question how you dealt with it, but nobody can control the weather.
What was the rest of the staff's reaction after this is the first time this has happened to you guys?
Just here we go again, but just our whole team's reaction was we wish we could have played. One way, shape, or form, whatever time our guys wanted to play.
Would you like to play on October 27th if something could work out, or would you not like to give up that bye week you have right in the middle of the schedule?
Yeah, at this point, any scenario isn't ideal. Playing 12 straight weeks, it certainly isn't ideal for any team. Depth is a little bit of an issue for us at certain positions, and it's certainly not ideal for us. But given the choice, I know that they're kind of researching and looking into all options. Given the choice, these guys have worked so hard; they deserve to play a full slate of games. So, if they give us an option to fill that game in somewhere, we're going to take it.
Normally on a Sunday, you probably do what, and what did you do instead, since you didn't have a game to recap?
Sunday was about the same, other than we didn't have a tape to watch from the day before. But we had several recruits in town, and we spent time having a meeting was with them, and then we started game planning for our next game just like we would any other week. Today's a little different since the holiday. It was good for us. We had a little bit extra time with them to make sure that they knew the game plan really well today and understood it, and we had a absolutely great practice today.
Speaking of recruits, we saw some of those guys talking to Adopt and Sue. And Sue has been here for quite a while, maybe 4 or 5 years. What was sort of the thought process behind him coming back? And did you reach out to him? Did he reach out to Nebraska? And how good was it to have him just here?
I didn't know he was coming, and I didn't know he was there until somebody told me afterwards. But he's obviously a great player and a great Husker, and we want all those guys back. So it's good to see a lot of the people that showed up for the game.
Did you ever talk to him before Saturday or about?
Yeah, after I got the job, I talked to Sue a few times, and just like everybody I've talked to, just voiced his support and happiness that we were all back. And like I said, it's good to have those guys on the same page.
Scott, what did you tell Adrian before what would have been his first offensive series, and then how did he handle getting that close to being able to do it and then now having it?
To summarize, I told him, take care of the football, play like you're the best player on the field, and play fast. And he was ready to do those things. You can tell when a kid's ready. I think he was ready. And I think evidence of that was today. He had his best practice I've ever seen him have today. So he was one of the first ones to speak up and say, we want to play however it works, we want to play. And I think we got a team full of guys like that.
But when he's playing like he did today, practicing like he did today, when he's going so well, what are you seeing from him?
He looked like a real guy today, just the way he was ripping the ball, making decisions, getting it out, running. It was the best I've seen him look. So I wish we could have seen it on Saturday night, but we're going to have to wait a few more days now, and I know he's anxious to get his first snaps.
How similar is Colorado's offense to your own? How maybe would facing your offense in practice help the defense to prepare for what they do?
Definitely some similarities on both sides of the ball. They do a lot of the same things defensively that our guys do a lot of the same things offensively that our guys do. So there's going to be some familiarity there. And, we practice against odd a lot, and they practice against what we do on offense a lot. That's going to help as we're trying to get everything installed and have guys understanding blocking schemes and the X's and O's of everything.
What memories do you have of playing Colorado, and do you bring up any of the history of this series with the guys this week at all?
No, I don't think so. There's enough going on with what happened last weekend, and with this being our first game now, we don't need to probably talk much about a Colorado rivalry, but I got great memories of it. There were 2 really good games. It was the type of game that even if one team was quite a bit better than the other, it was always going to be close and physical and a hard-fought game. So I don't expect anything different Saturday.
Scott, one follow-up on the scheduling situation. How much would you involve yourself in those discussions, or do you kind of let Bill and others kind of handle that and just focus on the team, or how's that kind of work?
I imagine they're already looking into options, and I wouldn't expect them to do anything without sitting in the room with everybody involved, including me, and making a decision on what's best for our team.
What stands out about the defense to you? A player or their scheme? What impresses you about Colorado?
Well, they look good. Colorado looked good in all 3 phases last week. They really won that game decisively against an in-state rival. I think they're coached very well. You don't see them out of position ever. They got a middle linebacker that made a bunch of plays, some really good guys in the secondary, some good guys up front. I think schematically they do some really good things on offense. Had 2 receivers that played really well and a quarterback that had great numbers. So they get the benefit of having that game under their belt, and we don't. But I know our guys are preparing hard and going to be ready, and we're going to do the best we can.
What's the running back situation look like this week? Is Greg Bell maybe getting most of the snaps?
It'll look the same as it did going into the last game. We got a bunch of guys that are going to play.
Scott, what kind of benefit will it be for you guys that they don't have any tape on you? That's the
Yeah, I suppose we get a little bit of an advantage that they don't have a game to look at. They have all our stuff from other places to look at, and that's a lot of stuff. So I'm sure they're not going to know what we're leaning toward running, or know as much about our personnel. I don't think that's as much an advantage as having a game under your belt. But hey, those are the cards we're dealt, and we're going to attack practice all week and come out and attack the game.
You mentioned that this has happened to your staff before. You had a canceled game. Did you kind of start thinking like, oh no, not again? Is that what's starting to happen on Saturday?
No, I've lived here a long time, and usually when thunderstorms roll through, the front goes through and maybe another pocket pops up, but you're still going to have the fireworks on 4th of July after the storm's over. This one just seemed to be tracking right across Lancaster County and wouldn't give up. So, for the first hour and a half, I thought, well, let's hurry up and get this over with. The later this goes, the longer night it's going to be. Want to get this game in, and it wasn't for probably well over an hour that I started thinking, oh no, we might not be able to play this one, and just disappointed. All that build up and all this work, and we are so anxious to get out there and play, and it's kind of unprecedented if it hadn't happened in that long.
Scott, what did you and the staff do in that time? In the locker, did you address the team, or did you get together and meet again? What was that time spent?
We addressed the team several times. The first time was stay ready, relax. The second time was take your pads and shoes off. This could be a while. Make sure you're comfortable. The third time is I don't know where this is going. The fourth time, there's a chance we might not play tonight. Fifth time was we might be able to play tomorrow. What do you guys think? Are you going to go home and get in bed? And the last time was think we have a game scheduled for tomorrow morning, get home and get in bed. And then it was a text message, there's no game. So that whole time we were trying to manage that and trying to keep our mind on what we had to do.